Welcome to the Nordic Venture Show, your speed date with the coolest ventures, brightest founders, and exciting things happening in the Nordics. In this episode, our venture date is with DEMA, Profitable E-commerce Growth Strategies.
Okay, welcome everyone. If you're in e-commerce, you know things move fast and you need clear insights, like yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having data isn't enough, is it? You need to know what it actually means for your business.
Exactly. So today we're diving into how a platform, DEMA.ai, is helping e-commerce businesses do just that, turn data into real profit and growth using advanced analytics.
And we've got some good stuff to look at. We're drawing from DEMA's own About page, a really interesting case study they did with a company called Ridestore, and some insights from the DEMA blog, too.
Right. So the mission today is basically to understand how DEMA helps businesses get past those surface-level numbers and see real results.
Yeah, using Ridestore as our kind of main example of how it works in practice.
Okay, let's get right to it then. DEMA mentions this challenge, data silos. That seems pretty central to what they're tackling.
It really is. That's their starting point. The idea is that for so many e-commerce businesses, all the crucial information, traffic sources, marketing results, inventory levels, customer data.
It's all over the place.
Exactly. It lives in separate systems. So getting a single clear picture of what's really driving performance, it's incredibly difficult.
Right, like your marketing team runs a promo, but they don't easily see the impact on inventory or which specific customer groups responded best profit-wise. You're kind of flying blind.
That's a great way to put it. You can't easily connect the dots. Trying to scale like that is, well, inefficient at best.
For sure. So how does DEMA fix this disconnect? What's their approach?
Well, they've built their platform to be that central hub. It pulls in data from all those different sources, Shopify, Google Ads, inventory systems, you name it.
Okay, so it aggregates everything.
Yeah, brings it all together in real time. And then crucially, they layer on AI to actually make sense of it all, to provide immediate insights from that unified data.
So it's not just a dashboard showing numbers, it's actually analyzing them.
Precisely. Their core belief, you see it on their site, is that better decisions come from integrated data. And better decisions lead to, well, better business results. Makes sense, really.
It does. See the whole picture. Make smarter moves. Now, something else that stood out was their mission around accessibility, making sophisticated analytics available to more businesses.
Yeah, I thought that was quite compelling. They're aiming to level the playing field historically, the really powerful analytics, the predictive stuff. That was mostly for the big guys, the corporations with huge budgets and teams of data scientists.
Right. The smaller or medium-sized businesses were often left out.
Exactly. So DEMA, founded in 2022 by Marcus Tageson, Henrik Hoffman, and David Feldel, they explicitly wanted to democratize great analytics, make it accessible for businesses of all sizes.
Democratizing analytics. I like that. It sounds like they see themselves as helping the whole industry move forward.
Yeah, they talk about being e-commerce pioneers, wanting to offer deeper insights. And it seems they don't just, sell the software and walk away. Their approach to clients seems important, too.
Oh, how so?
They mention viewing each client as an extension of their team. And every collaboration is seen as a chance for mutual growth, for innovation. Like a partnership.
Seems that way. They've got a team, over 20 engineers and growth experts, constantly working on the platform, and it sounds like client feedback is a big part of that process.
Okay, so we've got this unified platform tackling data silos, a mission to democratize analytics, and a collaborative approach. Let's see how it works in the real world. Tell us about Ridestore.
Right, Ridestore. They sell ski apparel online, and apparently they're very focused on customer feedback, using it to develop their products, which is great. But as they grew, they hit those familiar e-commerce scaling challenges, especially around analytics. So they partnered with DEMA.
And what were their main goals? What problems were they trying to solve?
They wanted to scale up, obviously, but do it more profitably and more flexibly, more agilely. Specifically, they were struggling with a few things.
Like what?
Well, predicting inventory needs, especially with seasonal products like ski gear, that was getting tricky. Avoid running out of stock, but also avoid having too much cash tied up in unsold goods.
Yeah, that's a classic e-commerce balancing act. Definitely. They also found it hard to know, really know which marketing campaigns were paying off. Measuring the true ROI was tough.
So potentially wasting ad spend.
Potentially, yeah. And the third thing was just lacking that real-time, comprehensive view of sales trends made it harder to react quickly. They needed reliable insights, basically, data they could trust to make decisions.
Okay, inventory forecasting, marketing ROI, real-time visibility, common pain points.
So how did DEMA step in? What did the solution look like for Ridestore?
DEMA's platform became that central intelligence system we talked about. The case study points to a few key areas where it made a difference. First, those AI-driven inventory predictions.
Helping them balance stock levels.
Exactly. Avoiding overstocking and stockouts. Big deal for cash flow and customer satisfaction. Second, the platform provided much more granular marketing attribution.
So they could see exactly which campaigns were working best.
Precisely. Which channels, which ads were really driving profitable sales. That allowed them to shift their budget much more effectively.
Okay. And the third thing, real-time dashboards. Finally getting that single view sales, inventory, marketing data all together, that meant faster, much more informed decisions.
Sounds like a major upgrade in how they operate.
Yeah.
Did Ridestore's CEO comment on it?
She did, Elin Glommen. She said, and I'm quoting here, "Our collaboration has been nothing short of a revolution. DEMA's solution is now the beating heart of our operation." Pretty strong words.
Beating heart of our operation. Wow, okay, so revolution sounds great, but what about the numbers? Did they see tangible results? The bottom line.
Ah, yes, the results. They're pretty impressive, actually. The case study highlights a 10% reduction in marketing spend.
10% saved on marketing, nice.
And at the same time, a 10% lower customer acquisition cost. So acquiring customers more cheaply.
Okay, spending less, getting customers for less. Good combo. What about sales?
Sales actually increased by 6% compared to what they'd forecast.
So exceeding expectations even while spending less on marketing.
Seems so. And maybe the most significant figure of a 17% growth in their net gross margin 3. That's a big jump in profitability.
Plus 17% on NGM3. Okay, we'll need to unpack that metric maybe, but that sounds substantial. Were there other benefits beyond just the finances?
Yeah. They also mentioned saving human hours, less time spent on manual data tasks, which let the team focus on more strategic work.
Makes sense. Automating the grunt work.
And also, because the demand predictions were better, they reduced overproduction, so less waste, which has sustainability benefits too.
Right, that's a good point. Now, you mentioned marketing ROI. The case study talks about Ridestore using epROAS-driven strategies. What is epROAS? Sounds important.
It is. And the DEMA blog actually has a great post explaining this called "Why ROAS Can't Be Trusted." Basically, traditional ROAS, return on ad spend, just looks at revenue generated versus ad cost.
Oh, okay, simple ratio.
Right. But it doesn't tell you if those sales were actually profitable after factoring in product costs, shipping, transaction fees, all that stuff. epROAS, that's effective profit return on ad spend, does.
So it's focused on the actual profit generated per ad dollar.
Exactly. It cuts through the noise. DEMA helped Ridestore track this metric really closely market by market, so they could see, okay, we're spending X here and getting Y in profit back. Let's put more budget there.
That's a much smarter way to allocate budget, focusing purely on profitability.
Okay, that makes sense. And the other metric you mentioned, that NGM3 figure that went up 17%, net gross profit 3, what's that about?
Yeah, NGP3. There's another DEMA blog post on contribution margins that breaks this down. Think of it as getting closer to the true profitability of your e-commerce operation.
How so?
Well, gross profit is just revenue minus cost of goods sold. Then you have different contribution margin levels. NGP1 might subtract fulfillment costs. NGP2 might take out marketing costs. NGP3 aims to be the ultimate measure of profit after all variable costs associated with selling that product are accounted for.
This is a really comprehensive view of profit per order or per product line. Pretty much, yeah. DEMA presents it as the key absolute profit metric, tracking it accurately and, crucially, seeing how it connects to marketing spend, inventory, customer behavior. That gives you a massive competitive edge.
Got it. So DEMA isn't just providing the data platform, they're also emphasizing the right metrics to track for real profitability, like epROAS and NGP3.
That seems to be a core part of their value proposition, moving beyond those vanity metrics.
And you mentioned the DEMA blog a couple of times now. Sounds like it's a pretty useful resource itself.
Oh, definitely. If you're in e-commerce and interested in data, analytics, profitable growth, it looks like a goldmine.
What kind of topics do they cover?
All sorts. I mean, comparing attribution models versus marketing mix modeling, aligning marketing spend with inventory, tips for improving sell-through rates, understanding customer lifetime value.
Practical stuff then.
Very practical. Also, things like how to stop shipping unprofitable orders. Big one. Why traditional ROAS is flawed, which we discussed. Why marketing mix modeling is important now. Understanding customer churn.
Wow.
Yeah, there's loads. Intro to AI, data analysis for e-commerce, visual merchandising impact, allocating marketing budgets between different markets, optimizing discounts smartly, choosing which global markets to invest in.
They really cover the gamut, from high-level strategy down to specific tactics like setting free shipping thresholds or optimizing product pages.
Exactly. And reinforcing that focus on profitability, not just growth for growth's sake.
Yeah.
They have posts specifically on e-commerce profitability and why vanity metrics can lead you astray.
Sounds like required reading for anyone serious about data-driven e-commerce.
I'd say so. It really complements the platform by educating users on the concepts behind the numbers.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together. If someone's listening, running an e-commerce business, feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed by data, what's the key takeaway from DEMA.ai and the Ridestore story?
I think the main message is that platforms like DEMA.ai offer a tangible way to cut through the noise, to connect those data silos and turn information into actual, actionable insights that significantly boost your bottom line.
And Ridestore is proof it works, right? They're 30% growth, reduced costs, increased profit margins. That's pretty compelling.
It really is. It shows the power of moving beyond just looking at basic metrics and gaining that deeper, truly integrated understanding of what drives profitability in your specific business.
It underscores that data integration isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, is it? It's becoming fundamental for competitiveness and survival, really.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from just having data to strategically using it across the board, marketing, inventory, sales strategy, everything, making decisions based on real profit impact.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. In today's market, how much potential profit are you actually missing out on because your data isn't fully connected, understood, and acted upon?
Yeah, that's the crucial question, isn't it? Definitely something to think about.
Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or your favorite app, and connect with us on LinkedIn for more stories and insights.